What's happening, I think, right in front of us is a paradigm shift. So let me give you a little bit of my paradigm shift. 3 years ago when I learned about telehealth, I was like, there is no way that stuff works. They're not even real doctors, and they can't help me over the phone. And then my wife said one day when I was going to the bank, she said, where are you going? And I said, I'm depositing this check. She said, why are you going to the bank to deposit it? She said, look, dummy, you got this cell phone with a Wells Fargo app. You can take a picture of it. Now, this is a true story. I think I'm a pretty intelligent person. My wife may disagree occasionally on that. And I said, there is no way if I take a picture with my phone, how do I know it gets to the bank? How do I know, do I have to double check them, call them back? So she grabs the phone, takes the picture, it's got a little check mark. And in that moment, what happened? The light bulb went off. Did that put banking and banks out of business? No. Do you still go to the bank? You still have to go to the bank. There are some millennials that have never seen the inside of a bank, right? But you don't have to use it as much. So what's happened is you have this shift occurring, and it's probably one of the greatest shifts in healthcare that you're going to experience, because employers and brokers and consultants, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have been trying for years to use as many tools as you could to do what? Reduce costs, retain employees, right? That's what you do. You manage these strategies. And yet I'm finding, and I understand because 3 years ago I said this is impossible. But until the dots were connected in my head about how it worked and why it was a strategy, it didn't work for me either.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You just watched that video of a presentation I did in September of 2016, 3 years ago, talking about telemedicine and how it's a paradigm shift. And if you listened, I learned about telemedicine 3 years before that presentation. That was a room full of health insurance agents in Richmond, Virginia. So that means in 2013 is when I started and learned and discovered telemedicine. Here it is, 2020. Is it a paradigm shift anymore? Not so much, right? Look what's happened. What I was trying to convey to a room full of people just 3 years ago, that you could actually pick up the phone and call a doctor and it wouldn't put doctors out of business, is happening in a massive way. Health insurance carriers now are embedding it. New companies are popping up. The services that are being added to the platform are evolving almost every year. Now is the time to really get your hands around what telemedicine, telecare, virtual care, all these definitions can do for you and your family. I hope this has been valuable, but do not ignore this amazing cost-saving technique for your healthcare expenses.